I never expected my ex-mother-in-law to send an army of church ladies to stalk my teenage daughters at a weekend market. But when she crossed that line, I didn't just fight back. I exposed her entire family to her own church, and watched her get shamed, shunned, and exiled from the community she worshipped like a second god. If you told me 2 years ago that my life would involve cheating scandals, secret babies, church mobs, and personalized revenge binders, I would have laughed hard. But grief has a way of peeling back layers and showing you exactly who people are when they think you have no strength left. I'm a 46-year-old mom of 2 daughters, 17 and 15. My ex-husband died last year in an accident. And with him died every lie he ever told me. The man was cheating on me for years. Not just cheating. He had 2 sons with his affair partner. She died in the same accident he did, leaving 2 little boys behind. My daughters were the ones who actually found out. Not me. They discovered their father's secret life, his messages, the baby pictures, everything. And to this day, they're in therapy because of the trauma. But guess who isn't in therapy? My ex-in-laws. 78 and 80 years old, brittle but loud. Fragile yet somehow toxic enough to poison an entire neighborhood if you're not careful. After my ex died, they went nuclear. First, they tried to get custody of my daughters. Then, they insisted they should move in with us. Then they blamed my kids for killing their father because they told me about the affair. They even called them bastards in messages. Yes, 2 grieving teenage girls, called bastards by their own grandparents. Kept everything. Every message. Every threat. Every insult. I was mid-divorce when he died, so legally, I wasn't restricted from gathering evidence. But I stayed quiet for a while. We have a big weekend farmers market where we live. Fresh produce, handmade goods, and enough baked cookies to send me into a sugar coma. My youngest had her birthday coming up, so I gave her a budget and let her run wild. She wanted sweets. I wanted a peaceful morning. 1 hour later I get a phone call. Her voice was shaking. "Mom. Some weird ladies cornered me. Please come." Ran. Not walked, ran. My oldest daughter came with me, and we found 6 older churchwomen surrounding my crying child like a pack of sanctimonious wolves. They were berating her for not visiting her grandparents, calling her unchristian, telling her she was a bad sister for not caring about her father's 2 poor orphaned baby boys. My daughter flinched every time they said, "brothers." They don't hate those kids, they hate the pain attached to them. And the church women didn't care. They smelled drama and went after my child. Something inside me snapped. I stood between them and my daughter and told my oldest to take her sister to the car. Then I faced the church brigade, as I now call them. They started screaming at me, calling me a failed Christian wife, telling me I should obey my ex-in-laws, telling me I was selfish, cruel, heartless. We were loud enough that market security kicked us all out. I got my daughters into the car, with the church brigade following me like creepy vultures. My daughters were trembling. I was shaking. Not with fear, with rage. After the girls went to sleep that night, I messaged a guy from that same church, someone I still trusted. He apologized for what happened. And then he spilled everything. My ex-Emil had posted a massive sob story in their private Facebook group. She told everyone I was abandoning them. My daughters were ungrateful. They were the grieving victims. They were homeless and penniless, which was a lie. They inherited my ex's bank account and life insurance. I refused to let them see their grandsons. And she claimed the affair partner was our surrogate. And I rejected the babies because they were boys. A whole fantasy novel of lies. But here's the interesting part. The church hates cheating. Loathes it. It's the one sin they treat like a nuclear bomb. So my ex-in needed a loophole. A surrogate story was her genius plan. Closed my laptop, sat in silence, and decided, revenge time. I took the next day off, went to a print shop, and made the most beautiful high-quality revenge binder the world has ever seen. Inside it I included photos of my ex making out with the affair partner in our home, screenshots of his texts, Screenshots of my in-laws supporting the affair. Messages of them bullying my daughters. The message where they called my children bastards. The message where they blamed my girls for their father's death. And I organized everything like a church pamphlet. Pretty, clean, pastel colors, cute front cover. Inside the first page, a blown-up photo of my ex and his affair partner kissing in my living room under the title, "The Real Love Story of Ex-Husband and Affair Partner." Artistry, beauty, poetic justice. I made several copies. Then I went to their church before Sunday service. Inside, near the main entrance, there's a table with free hymn booklets for anyone who forgot theirs. Nobody checks them. I slid my binders right in. Then I walked out. By noon, the church Facebook group was melting down. The gossip mill was in flames. The pastor had to step in to stop people from calling my ex and his affair partner every biblical insult possible. My daughters got apology letters. I got an invitation to come back for guidance, support, and forgiveness. My ex-in-laws. They were shunned. Publicly. Aggressively. They left the church within 2 days. My ex-mil posted online about how lonely and abandoned she is. How her great son would have cared for her. With what money? I don't know. He certainly wasn't supporting us. But that was the day I learned. Sometimes revenge doesn't need fire. Sometimes it just needs paper, ink, and the truth. The revenge binders detonated like a holy hand grenade in that church. But the aftermath. Oh, the aftermath was chef's kiss revenge perfection. Let me tell you how the dust settled. And how my ex-Email's entire world came crashing down around her. By Monday morning my phone was vibrating non-stop. Not because people were angry at me. Not because of backlash. But because the church members, yes, the same people who cornered my daughter at the market, were all suddenly falling over themselves to apologize. God bless you. We didn't know. We were misled. If you need anything, let us know. It was the Christian version of backpedaling at Olympic speed. Some of them messaged my older daughter too, apologizing for misjudging her. One even sent a $25 gift card to an ice cream shop. Meanwhile, the church Facebook group. It was a battlefield. People posted things like, "Cheating is a disgrace. Those poor girls. How dare the in-laws lie to us. This is why God hates secrets." The pastor had to lock the comments multiple times because the older members were fighting like teenagers with Wi-Fi for the first time. I watched all of this from the comfort of my couch with a cup of hot chocolate. It's amazing what truth can do when delivered at the perfect moment. My ex-in-laws didn't just lose church support. They lost their entire identity. For 50 years, that church was their social circle, their validation, their pride. They weren't just members. They were loud, self-righteous, pew-front regulars. And now, nobody would sit next to them. People whispered behind their backs. They refused communion from them. One person actually told them, "You enabled adultery. Shame on you." Within 48 hours, they left the church entirely. They blocked me, my daughters, and anyone who still talked to us. But they didn't know something else. Their lies weren't only exposed. Their financial situation was too. Because the moment the truth came out, everyone started asking a simple question. If they inherited money, why were they pretending to be homeless? And just like that, sympathy evaporated. Remember how they tried to get custody of my daughters? Imagine showing up to court with a record of harassing minors. Written proof they blamed teens for their father's death. Evidence they supported cheating. A full community scandal behind them. My lawyer didn't even have to work hard. We slid the printed messages across the table. The judge took one look at the message calling my daughter a bastard and said, "This case is dismissed." Just like that. Case closed. They lost visitation rights. They lost any input in my daughter's lives. They lost the fantasy of controlling us. My girls cried in relief. Not because they were happy to win, but because this entire nightmare was finally starting to end. Let me be very clear. I have nothing against those two little boys. They're innocent. They didn't ask to be born into chaos. They didn't choose their parents' mistakes. But I wasn't responsible for them. And neither were my daughters. After my ex's death, social services evaluated everyone. My ex-in-laws begged to take the boys, but, shocking, having a track record of emotional instability and manipulation doesn't look good on paper. The boys ended up with distant relatives of my ex who, at stable jobs, had no drama, were capable of giving them a peaceful life. I've been in light contact through the social worker, just to make sure the boys are safe. They are. And honestly, that's all I ever wanted. Now, you would think the church scandal and the custody defeat were enough. But no. She wasn't done embarrassing herself. She posted on Facebook publicly. I feel abandoned. Nobody cares for the elderly. I miss my great son. He would have taken care of me. The comments. All brutal truth bombs. He cheated on his wife. Stop romanticizing him. Your lies hurt innocent teenagers. Take accountability. You made your bed. Now lie in it. She deleted the post the next day. But the internet is forever. Screenshots were everywhere. Then came the irony. The same pastor who once praised my ex-in-laws actually wrote my daughters a note saying, "We failed you. We apologize. You deserve compassion." My daughters read it and, for the first time in a long time, they didn't cry from hurt. They cried from relief. Because someone finally believed them. After the storm cleared, my daughters and I did what anyone does after a massive emotional war. We healed. Therapy sessions went from weekly to bi-weekly. The girls began opening up more. My youngest stopped flinching at the mention of church. My oldest finally said, "Mom, we're okay now." We focused on school, hobbies, peace, and building a home that wasn't full of ghosts. And for the first time, life felt quiet. Beautifully quiet. People think revenge is about destruction. Burning someone's world down. Making them suffer. But here's what I learned. The best revenge is exposing the truth they tried to hide. Because liars can defend themselves against accusations. But not against their own words, written in ink. My ex-in-law created a fantasy world where she was the hero. The suffering grandmother. The pious Christian. The wronged elder. I simply handed her community the truth. And they handed her judgment. Not me. I didn't destroy her reputation. She destroyed it herself. I just turned on the lights. 1 year after the farmer's market incident, life looks completely different. My daughters are stronger. We laugh more. Talk more. We trust more. As for my ex-in-laws, they move from church to church, trying to find a place that doesn't know their story. But bad reputations travel fast. People talk. Communities talk. Pastors talk. And now, everywhere they go, someone already knows. "Oh, you're that couple." They still send the occasional guilt-filled message from a new number. We ignore it. Revenge isn't about holding on to anger. It's about putting down the weight you never deserved to carry. And handing it back to the person who dropped it on you.